Resilience and Prevention Office, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. Today, the men and women of the United States Air Force, in keeping with one of the oldest traditions in the military, pay special tribute to Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas on the occasion of her retirement from over 25 years of distinguished service in the United States Air Force. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Colonel James E. Long. At this time, I would like to remind you to please silence your electronic devices. As a reminder, during the national anthem, military members will stand at attention, and civilians should place their hand over their heart. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Senior Airman Jonathan Washington.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pastor Mac McCullough, will you please come forward to give the invocation?
Guess I really didn't need this. But before I begin, if you don't mind, I just want to say thank you all for coming. I'd like to welcome you as the pastor here and as a retired military member myself from the Air Force. On behalf of Word in Season Ministries, we are so honored to be able to celebrate this moment with one of our members, Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas. Congratulations. Let us pray. Father, we thank you right now. We give you praise. We give you glory. We give you honor. We thank you for this day. This is the day that you have made. And certainly we have come to celebrate a long career, a faithful career, a career with sacrifice, deployments, long days, long weeks, and sometimes thankless efforts. But God, I thank you right now that today we consider it all joy as we have come to this remarkable milestone in the life of Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas. Thank you for all that she has done for the Air Force. Thank you for all that she has done for the nation. And thank you for how she has represented not just herself well, but her family and her loved ones. And so for that, we thank you. And now we pray, oh Lord, the Proverbs over her life. Lord, I pray that she will continue to trust you with all her heart, and that she will lean not to her own understanding, but just as she has in her military career, that she will acknowledge you in all her ways. Now go before her. Continue to be her guide. Continue to bless every work of her hands. And for this we give you praise. For this we give you honor. And for this we give you glory. And it's in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you.
Washington, please be seated. There are a number of special guests here today that we would like to recognize. Please hold applause until all guests are announced. Senior Master Sergeant Thomas's mother, Jackie Dozer. Her father, Tech Sergeant retired Lorenzo Stevenson Sr., United States Air Force, retired. Her sister, Kimmy Ramirez, and niece, Imani Stevenson. Her sister, Kiana Campbell, her husband, O'Dane, and their son, Jonathan. Her brother, Lorenzo Stevenson Jr., and his wife, Marcia, and their son, Lorenzo Stevenson III. Her brother, Lauren Stevenson, and his wife, Ashley, and their 3 children, Christian, Bria, and Avery. Senior Master Sergeant Thomas's daughter, Kayla Langster, and her guest, David Spearman. Her daughter, Julia Redmond. Her son, Senior Airman Burnell Thomas III, who cannot be here with us today. Her children's father, Burnell Thomas Jr. And last but not least, her significant other, King Thomas. At this time, Senior Master Sergeant Thomas would like to acknowledge another special guest that cannot be here with us today, her father-in-law, the late Burnell Thomas Sr. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor his memory. Thank you. Senior Master Sergeant Thomas would also like to extend a huge thanks to everyone who came in for the ceremony from all across our great nation. We will now recognize distinguished visitors who are here with us today. Please hold your applause until all DVs are announced. Colonel Edward Goebel, Jr., Commander, 461st Air Control Wing, and his wife, Corey. Colonel Michelle Carnes, Vice Commander, 461st Air Control Wing. Chief Master Sergeant James Blunt, Command Chief, 461st Control Wing. Chief Master Sergeant Frankie Moore, Group Superintendent, 461st Maintenance Squadron Group. We would also like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, members of Team Robbins, family, friends, and especially the men and women of the 461st Maintenance Squadron. We appreciate your presence and camaraderie, and thank all of you for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel James Long.
Okay, it is my honor to be here. Wow, what a day. What a drive, though. I have not been here past it. It is beautiful. Awesome location that you have here. But it's quite a drive for us that live on base. Now, you don't get out much, I guess, to this side of town, but it's awesome. This is beautiful. Great venue, a great occasion, and most importantly, an opportunity for us to say thank you. Not just to you, but to your family. And to start that, I have a wingman coin that I would like to give Camille's father for his service many years ago, retiring out of March Air Force Base. So, sir, thank you for your service. So how do we get here today? Well, it starts a long, long time ago. We won't talk about which year. But we'll talk about her Air Force career. We won't talk about birth and all that. Maybe a little bit. Her Air Force career started almost 25 years ago. She went to MEPS in Atlanta when she was living in Rome. She enlisted in the Air Force, went through basic, became a non-destructive inspection maintainer. Went off to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. And there sort of starts the road of how she wound up here. And all the experience that she built along the way that prepped her for this job and this location. Because what do they have at Barksdale Air Force Base? They have B-52s. What kind of engines do B-52s have? The same ones we have. The same core part of the engine. So 25 years ago almost, she started off doing NDI type work on an aircraft that has engines similar to us. Now, she spent 6 years at Barksdale, and she hit the ground running. I mean, if you look at her original reports, they talk about how flawless she was, how patriotic she was, how selfless she was. That sounds just like the Camille I know now, that I met 22 years later. They recognize that right off the bat. If you think 1996, what we were doing, we're in the middle of doing what we call Northern Watch and Southern Watch. That's when we were flying missions around Iraq to keep the Iraq military grounded and in check. And as a young airman, she deployed for OSW. And that prepped her for a few years later. But she did amazing work in everything she did at Barksdale. She might have a couple other stories, because there's a couple markets on the front side she might have some stories about, but I'm not going to talk about those. We're here to talk about how amazing she is. Amazing. She became an NCO there. Well, what's one of the things that you have to do when you become an NCO? You have to go to ALS, Airman Leadership School. She didn't just graduate from Airman Leadership School. She was a leather toter. And for those that may not be aware of that, that's the #1 student in the entire Airman Leadership School class. Again, that sounds just like the person I got to meet many years later. Also, while she was there, I mean, she's there for 6 years, so it starts in 96, goes through 02. We had a pretty significant event in 2001. And that previous deployment to support Southern Watch prepped her for what had to happen right after that. She was one of the first folks to go and deploy with the B-52s when asked immediately after September 11th. So that's a pretty amazing assignment. She started doing some schoolwork. That sounds like Camille too. That goes all the way to every moment I've known her. She's always studying something, learning something, trying to get another certification on something. And that takes her through 2002. And from there, she goes to Guam. Spends 2 years in Guam. Gets to help with the cleanup of a super typhoon. Gets a decoration for that as well. While there, she's doing more great stuff, again with the bombers, because during 2002 to 2004, what happened? Operation Iraqi Freedom. So she, again, is at the forefront of where some of the nation's businesses called us to do. So she spends 2 amazing years in Guam, and guess she didn't have enough fill of her typhoons, so she decided to go to Kadena. And she spends 4 years at Kadena. Now this is the part where I wasn't, I'll make a connection real quick. She was born at Kadena. I was looking at her entire record. If you look at someone's death record, you can see where they were born and stuff like that. So I was looking at her entire record. She was born in Kadena. She's like, okay, wow, that's cool. She came back to Kadena. No, it gets better than that. Her younger daughter was born at Kadena as well. And then I just learned this, that her and her mom were the same age when they both gave birth in the same hospital on the same base a few years apart. So what an amazing connection as we go through time. But Kadena is an amazingly busy base. Amazingly busy base. It's got fighters there. It's got rescue helicopters there. It's got AWACS there. It's got tankers there. It's pretty much got a little bit of everything because of its sort of strategic location. So she is able to continue doing some amazing things in the job. But here is where you start to see a lot more than just a job. You saw it all along, but you see it a lot more Again, just different airplanes, different locations. So they recognized her talents and realized, okay, we need to use her somewhere else, not just in NDI. So she got to work in the MOC. So that's the Maintenance Operations Center, sort of like the brain of all the maintenance activities that we have that go on. And so she was the senior controller there, making sure that when the helicopters needed to respond to a rescue and save 2 people, that they had the fuel they needed, they got the clearance they needed, that they had all the support they needed. So again, they recognized her talent. I mentioned earlier that she was the ALS Levitor winner. Well, when she was at Kadena, she went to NCO Academy and was the DG there. So again, sustained superior performance, epitome of that in multiple assignments. So 6 years at Barksdale, 2 years in Guam, 4 years in Kadena. Where do you think the Air Force sends her next? If you have a program, you might be able to get it achieved. North Carolina. North Carolina. They said, you had all the good life, living in the Pacific, living in Japan. North Carolina is next for you. Matter of fact, the front row is very, I don't know if that was a good or a not so good resounding North Carolina. But that also started the prep for her time here. Why? How? Well, working tankers, again. Tankers are based on a 707 platform, which is what we're based off of. But additionally, the tanker unit in North Carolina is a reserve unit. So that starts getting into the total force aspect that JSTARS is so keenly a part of. I mean, we've got Chief Johnson, Chief Adams, multiple TFI folks here, and that started her experience in the TFI world. Because it takes a different type of leadership style. It takes Camille's type of leadership style, to be honest. Because those are the type of leadership styles where people have utmost confidence and respect. That interpersonal skills that she excels at. But she excelled at Seymour Johnson, even though they were only there a couple years. The Air Force Reserve Command came in and did a maintenance inspection, and they got an excellent on it. But I'm guessing you didn't like North Carolina very much? Yeah. Because overseas she went again. This time to Lake Heat. So she did the Pacific, she did Japan, so now she's like, okay, I'm going to go see the Queen. And she's off to Lake Heat. And as a part of the 48th Fighter Wing, again, another very busy, as Senior Master Sergeant Ray can attest to, a very busy base. Again with F-15s, again with helicopters, again being called on a moment's notice to go do the nation's business whenever and wherever. But they also recognized that she needed to do more than just NDI. So they made her a Squadron Pro Super, Production Super. So 370 people, 7 AFSCs, and she is the one sort of making the magic happen, sort of like the puppeteer, the puppet master, making sure all that work that needs to be done gets done. But on top of that, she is still engaged in the airmen. She is still engaged in the community. She is still engaged with the schools. Because that's her passion, as you all know. She got a little bit of a further exploration into structures and the sheet metal a little bit. Spent 4 years there. And then from there, here we come. So she's been here a bit now. What, 2014? So that's 6 years and counting. And since she's been here, because of the relationship requirements of the leadership cadre within our unit, she has pretty much done everything she could do within the main squadron. She has run the fabrication flight. They recognized her skill and talents from a culture, setting the right culture in an organization. And so my predecessor moved her propulsion flight so that she could set that amazing culture there. She deployed in between that time for 6 months to IUD, which then again prepped her for a little bit later. because we asked her to go there last year to go be the NCOIC, so the non-commissioned officer in charge of the entire deployment, as we were closing down the location. So not just to go there and sort of keep status quo, but to go there and close everything, bring it back here. And while she's there, she is still able to mentor, to lead leadership, phenomenal leadership seminars throughout the land. Also during her time in the squadron, I mean, it's 6 years, it's a long time. She was the Saigon winner for the group. Saigon is a leadership award. That's the nice way of saying you can closer to your mic. Saigon is our leadership award across all the different skills and AFSCs that we have. She was the group winner for that. She was the group maintenance professional of the year. The squadron, while she was a part of it, leading 2 different flights, first on the National Guard side, won the Maintenance Effectiveness Award for the entire Air National Guard for the entire country. Followed that up the next year, the squadron won the Maintenance Effectiveness Award on the active duty side for all of 9th Air Force. These are all amazing feats. And why do I go through all this? It's for you. A lot of us know this stuff already. Maybe not some of the older stuff, but they know the stuff that she's done for us too. But it's to say thank you. You let us borrow her for 25 years. There's lots of long hours, lots of deployments, lots of requirements for her. So we say thank you. And the feeling that we want to come away with here is an amazing feeling of how awesome Camila is. And she hates this, by the way. I'm sure she is absolutely hating this. Why? Because every time I've ever talked to her, it's about her airmen. We have some of the folks that are working with her in that aspect as well. That's her passion. And it exudes in everything she does. And I'm not looking forward to the rest of the ceremony because we don't want to lose her yet. But it's time. It's time. She's done her duty. And even, I'll go there now. Even while she's been sort of on leave, she's still been coming in. You probably don't want people to know that, but she's still been coming in. Why? Because there's important talks that we need to be having right now. You know, who did I turn to after George Floyd? Her. Why? Because I knew she could handle it. I knew she was the person to help us navigate how we wanted to react within our group. Because she's been preparing for that all her life. And it is part of who she is to her core. So when we get done with the ceremony, I mean, we are all here to celebrate an amazing career and to thank you for your service and to thank you for sharing that with us. But I have a feeling that we're not done with Camille yet. We haven't heard the last of Camille when it comes to helping out the base in different ways. Why? Because it's who she is. So when she was an airman, beginning her career, what was she involved with? Veterans Home. So as she goes on her way, what she's been involved with now? Another Veterans Home. So the bookends to that is just amazing. It's storybook. It's you can't make that up. I thank you for everything you've done for me, for our group, for our wing, for our Air Force. We are better for it, and I look forward to celebrating the rest of the ceremony. You ready? Yes, sir. Okay, come on up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by the Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas for meritorious service 14 November 2014 to 31 April 2021. Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas distinguished herself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States while assigned to the 461st Maintenance Squadron, 461st Maintenance Group, 461st Air Control Wing, Robins Air Force Base, Georgia, from 24 March 2018 to 31 March 2021. During this period, as Propulsion Flight Chief, Sergeant Thomas skillfully led 104 airmen in the accomplishments of 2,000 maintenance actions and 342 inspections. Her influence across the total 4 squadrons directly enabled it to achieve a 95% quality assurance pass rate and to be named as the 2018 Air National Guard Bureau Maintenance Effective Award winner, as well as the 2019 9th Air Force Maintenance Effective Award winner. Additionally, she excelled as the Wing Lead Installation Resilience Training Assistant, where she championed the prevention of interpersonal violence and tackled uncomfortable conversations which polarized airmen. Her wisdom and passion to heal enabled her to connect with airmen on a personal level. Moreover, was at the front helping agencies across the installation, providing unyielding support to 20,000 personnel. Finally, as a trusted mentor, known for outstanding leadership, Sergeant Thomas' influence on airmen combined with pinpoint mission focus earned her the Installation Violence Prevention Award and was the Wing Tuskegee Airman of the Year winner. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Thomas culminate a distinguished career in the service of her country and reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force.
Publish the order.
Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Number 016343 to Senior Master Sergeant Thomas, Fabrication Flight Chief, 461st Maintenance Squadron, Robins Air Force Base, Georgia. You are relieved from active duty and retired from the United States Air Force, effective 31 March 2021, after 25 years, 2 months, and 20 days of faithful and honorable duty. Per Air Force Instruction 363203 in the grade of Senior Master Sergeant by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would like to read the Certificate of Appreciation from the President of the United States. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. It reads, I extend you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution and honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with one of the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you served. Those who follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald Trump, Commander-in-Chief. I will now read the certificate of retirement from the Air Force Chief of Staff. Yeah, that's right. The Armed Forces of the United States of America. This is to certify that Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on 31 March 2021. Signed, David L. Goldfein, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Colonel Edward Goebel, Commander, 461st Air Control Wing. Certificate of Appreciation from Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on the retirement from the United States Air Force, Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas. The achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well-deserved, but your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Signed, Khalith Wright, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. I would like to ask Camille's parents, Mr. Lorenzo and Miss Jackie, to please come forward and join us for the Air Force Retirement Pin Ceremony. Will you please present your daughter with an Air Force retirement pin? This pin is to be worn with pride. It signifies to everyone the wearer of the pin has served her country well and honorably. Senior Master Sergeant Thomas would now like to present Mr. Lorenzo Stevenson Sr. and Ms. Jackie Dozer with the Military Parent Medal for steadfast support of their daughter throughout her career. It reads, "The sacrifice the parent of the military members renders is beyond compare. As a parent, they willingly offer their blessings when the child is compelled to serve their country. If it were not for the military parent, through their child's service, America would not enjoy all the freedoms that exist today." The Military Parent Medal is cast in gold and silver colors, which symbolize how meaningful you are to me. Within the gold center is a compass rose depicting the guidance offering of love and support for the decisions I have made throughout my life. The raised rippled top edging is indicative of the many opportunities you offered me. There are 4 stars around the lower half of the silver ring, symbolic of your teachings of duty, honor, integrity, and devotion. In the lower center of the outer ring is a shield for your teachings of traditions and respect for our country. The Military Parent Medal is my way of saying you were then and now one of the most important parts of my life. It was your understanding, love, and assurance that enabled me to know what I was accomplishing was important. Thank you for always being there for me. Would Kayla and Julia please come forward for your mom to present you the Military Child Medal? It reads, Kayla and Julia, throughout the years of your life, you have made sacrifices and you have served your country as much as I have. In your loving way, you quietly shouldered the heavy burden that you were asked to carry. Most of the time, you could not understand why I was not there, but you quietly hid the tears, courageously put on a smile, and defiantly promised that you would support me. You were then, as now, one of the most important parts of my life, and it was your love that enabled you to assure me that I was doing was important. I missed so many holidays and countless occasions while you were left at home to worry while I was on difficult missions. You had to say goodbye to friends when we moved throughout the years, and you had to change schools. Your resilience and self-confidence gave me strength. I am proud of you, for it was your love and support that sustained me in those difficult times. There's no way in my mind that I could have been a success in the military without having your support, your understanding, and most importantly, your unquestionable love. Thank you for being there for me. Please direct your attention to the front of the room for a flag folding ceremony. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been a symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, a shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and value. White signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on the constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe and on the fin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the hearts of every airman who served our great nation. The sun never sets on the U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generations of Americans have been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedoms that others won for us and for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinguished fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for the freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on land and skies around the world. It is their responsibility and our responsibility to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. Thank you. At this time, if anyone would like to come up and say a few words about Senior Master Sergeant Thomas, please do so. There's a microphone right in front of the room. But before then, first, we would like to share a short video from Salama International.
You can now hold microphone to Osborne. I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you so much. Camille, thank you so much for being a great woman of God. And we want to congratulate you for today for serving the government as a woman. And we know that all things work for good. We want to usher now to the civilians' work, because I know you have been in government, now you are coming out there, and we know you have a mission to do. That's why you are doing retirement today. We know your will was for us to usher in, even to be part of that party, but we are not going to be there because I'll be doing something. Then also, you know what I'm going through. So please, we are taking this opportunity with all other people outside there and all the congregation. We want to congratulate you for serving us, and all of us, we want to let's lift up our whole hand and say congratulations, Camille. Congratulations for the good work you have done to every nation and all over the world. Thank you so much, and God bless you so much. We want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Camille, and God bless you in Jesus' name. Amen.
That was beautiful. So the microphone is open. Please limit remarks to 2 to 3 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Jackie.
She told me she put this part in just for you. 26
years ago, Camille told me she wanted to join the Air Force. No way. She's a crybaby. We couldn't talk to her too harshly. As a parent, I felt that she'll never make it in the military, not this time. She defied my orders. She got my mom and her dad to conspire against me. They signed her into the military. And as a colonel, thank you so beautifully, just, rehearsed her entire career. It's just unbelievable that little girl, 17 years old, 26 years ago, decided to go into the military. I never thought she'd make it. I thought they would kick her out of boot camp, but she did it. And I got a chance to be there for several of those celebrations. And today, I'm telling you, I am so full. Some of the things that the colonel even rehearsed, I didn't even know about. She's not one to brag. She just called me and told me, pray, Mommy, I'm getting ready to go for promotion. But I didn't know half of the stuff that the colonel rehearsed today. And so I'm extremely, extremely proud of my daughter, just almost an amazing person, unbelievable. And I'm just so grateful that even at this point of her career where she's transitioning into the civilian world, that she and I are going to get a chance to do some work together. I'm a nonprofit management consultant, and we're going to be doing work together. And what you saw on the video was she's even helping me. I have ministries in Africa, and we started 17 businesses. And the young man that spoke was in charge of the leadership training for the African pastors there. And I help with the business development part of it. And so we're going to be working together. After all of this time, I get a chance to really work with my daughter. I'm going to have her back again. But I thank God for all the work that the military has done in developing her into who she was. She came with the raw materials. You guys produced the professional, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Colonel. Beautiful words. Love you, Camille. Bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Camille's father, as you know. I can't say how proud I am of Camille following her father's footsteps, and not only that, surpassing me. And one thing I always encourage you, make sure you get more than I did. And she certainly has achieved that in her almost 25 years. And I could not be a more proud father to see your accomplishments, to hear about them, and know that you've done it well. And I say to you, continue on. One thing I know, you've always been faithful, you've been faith-blessed, and you've always had God involved in every decision you made. Carry on.
All right, hi, I'm Camille's daughter, Kayla, the oldest, and I'm just gonna speak on behalf of my dad and sister, but like we thank you for everything you've done, all the sacrifices she's made. Like, I'm already getting emotional, but growing up, you know, I've seen her fight coming home tired and stuff, so I just really appreciate everything you've done to support me and Julia, because you've been above and beyond the greatest mom I could ever ask for, so. Just want to let you know that I'm proud of you and I love you and thank you.
Hi, I'm big sister. You know I love you. And during all of the times, well not all, but one of the most important times when you all called her away, I felt blessed enough and lucky enough that she trusted me with her two most valuable possessions. And those were my two nieces. And I had the blessing of my life to raise you all for just a small part of what your mother gave to us. So thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your love and support. And thank you for trusting me enough to take care of them until they brought you home. I love you and I'm so proud of you.
So, Camille, your family's talked about how proud they are of you. I want to express my gratitude to you. I told you before that when I first heard you tell your story in one of the foundation trainings that you were giving for me, that I was absolutely inspired, blown away from where you've come from and all the things that you've accomplished despite some of the things that you've told me. And I wanted to thank you for everything that you have done for Robins Air Force Base, because a lot of people come here and they get caught up in what unit they're with and their daily jobs, and you know, we all have busy lives and we don't pay some of our stuff forward. the Integrated Resilience Training Assistants that we have here at Robins Air Force Base, which are integral to how we take care of airmen. Camille Thomas was the model for that. When all the things that she was doing with violence prevention, with resilience, the way that she was taking care of airmen, that's how we modeled Integrated Resilience Training Assistants. So here at Robins, those guys are your legacy. That's a model on you, and I want to thank you for everything that you have done for Robins Air Force Base.
I absolutely could not sit down and not come up and say something. So, rewind 5 years ago, I came up to the wing as the chief of staff, and I started being hit with programs from the gentleman who just came up here about resiliency. Now, we're a flying wing, maintenance wing, and all of this resiliency stuff was not at all in any of the duty descriptions. But then I heard someone give me a name. Have you talked to Sergeant Thomas? I said, who's Sergeant Thomas? Mind you, she had been on base for probably 5 months. I met then Master Sergeant Camille Thomas, and I met an absolute gem. She had all the answers, because I had a lot of questions. She had all the answers, but not only did she have those answers from either experience or training that she took upon herself, because none of those things fall within her duty description, within her maintenance job. She took it upon herself to learn and get these certifications. And then she did the best thing ever. She shared it. She shared it with every single one of our airmen. And as wing staff agency lead and as the chief of staff, it was my job to find someone who could handle that. And she stepped in 2015, and she's not stopped. And I hope and pray that in the upcoming years, I continue to work with her, because she is just that good, and she has a heart of gold, and I can see clearly where she gets that from, clearly. So Camille, on behalf of Wing Staff Agency, on behalf of the Wing Commander and the Vice Wing Commander, I say thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for everything you've done for this base, and thank you for always answering my phone calls and texts, because I know I blew your phone up, but you are just amazing, and I truly, truly loved working with you, and I love you, young lady, so thank you for your service.
I haven't known Camille that long. It's been less than a year, but whenever I first met her, I knew that she was special, that she has a heart of gold. I appreciate you and the fact that we became friends and we're still developing our friendship, and I just wanted to give you a couple words. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. They're plans to prosper you and keep you in health. And I work all things out for good for those that love you, love God, and are called according to his purpose. So everything that you've been through, just keep that in mind. It is a learning experience. I'm not going to sit here and teach you something, but I am here to remind you. Remind you how much God has you by his hand, how much that he's going to keep you by his hand in the future, and the great things he has in store for you. So we're here to just encourage you for everything that you've given to everyone else. Now it's time for you to take a break for a minute, because guess what? The Lord rested on the seventh day too. So just keep that in mind, keep that balance. As leaders, we're so into taking care of our airmen and those that are under us that sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. So this is a time, a break for you to get to take care of yourself. I know you're not going to stop taking care of others, but it's okay for you to rest. It's okay for you to take a break. and then hit the ground running like your mom said. So we just appreciate you and thank you so much for everything. You're awesome.
I'm Camille's real oldest daughter. I just wanted to express our gratitude. When we first got here, my husband is that guy. And when we first got here from Minot, he was depressed because we were at Minot. And he came home always telling me all these stories about this Sergeant Thomas, this not human superhero person. And then one day he said something that I realized Sergeant Thomas was a female. And I was like, wait, she's a female? And she's a master sergeant? And she did all this? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, you're making tech this year. And, and I told her that too. I was like, I know she's gonna take care of you from all these incredible things you're saying about her. You're going to make tech this year. And then I met her, and I was like, oh my gosh, the stories are true. She's like a real life Wonder Woman. And she just took my husband under her arm and just ran with him, and gave him so much mentorship within the past 2 years that I've seen him grow more as an NCO now than I have his entire military career. And then I had to go to post, and at the same time that I was going through my basic training, we found out he had cancer. And she was just right there, Mama Bear. And she mentored him. She was there with him through the entire process. She was texting me while I was at post to let me know what was going on. And then she became my mentor too. I had to curb my personality to make sure stories were things I'd be able to repeat to her when I responded at work. So I just want to thank you for everything you've done for him. You've helped him grow as an NCO. You helped me grow as an officer. You've helped us both. And we just, I mean, you're an angel. We love you so, so much. And it's just an honor to be your favorite daughter. And we love you.
Ooh, I need tissue. Thank you all for your kind words and for sharing stories of how Senior Thomas has impacted all of you. Your kind words are appreciated and will be remembered from years to come. I would like to now invite Miss Danny Vandersee to the stage to sing a special song in honor of Senior Master Sergeant Thomas.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise you we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to his feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again for you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, yes. We will rise, we will rise, we'll rise, oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, I like the day, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again for you. I love you so much, Camille.
Thank you, Miss Danny. Now I present to you Senior Master Sergeant retired Camille Thomas.
Kind of crazy. I keep saying I did this 1,000 times, putting on different retirement ceremonies for different people, but it's never been my own. And so this feels a little bit different this time around. And I guess you guys can see the crybaby that my mom told everybody that I was, coming in. But first, I want to say thank you to Pastor Mack and the Wisdom family for allowing me to use the church for my retirement ceremony. It is beautiful, as I knew it would be, and it's a blessed venue, so I know that my next chapter is going to be blessed too. So this is a good start to the next portion of my life. But for everybody who came out, I just want to say thank you. To Colonel Long, I want to say thank you too. It's an honor to have you officiate. You know how people say stuff, oh, I'll do your retirement and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, whatever, But he reminded me that he was serious, and that meant the world to me. And like you said, we had, words of time, and he called me passionate in that in that setting. And I'm like, yes, I am passionate, but I just love people, So he understood where I was coming from. But for you to be here to send me off is an honor, and thank you so much. It's been great working here. I have this little thing I'm trying to pull up. So give me 1 second. I had it, and it went away. I just didn't want me to be great today. I don't know. But anyway, I will do my best to not, I sent it 2 places, so I wouldn't miss it. All right, so I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out. I know that there are several people all across the world that are watching the live stream that expressed their gratitude, that called me first thing in the morning to, say congratulations for everything, for my retirement and things. And I just want to say thank you all. Thank you for being here in spirit. This COVID thing has really, put some, wedges in some plans, a lot of plans this year. But we've been able to do amazing things despite. So I just want to say thank you for joining me in this moment. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you for everyone who's here. Today is very, very busy across the base. We have senior NCO inductions. We have other retirements, which some people have to leave here soon to go to, and I know that. So I'm going to be very, very quick. I'm going to try to be. And so that people can get there. But we have so many things, big things going on. And for all of you who took the time out to come here face to face, it means the world to me. And I just want to say thank you very much. I want to thank God for being here, for making it these 20-something years. It has not been an easy road, but it has been a very rewarding road. There have been challenges out of the gate. I initially, like my mom was saying, joined in 1995, went off to MEPS, walking down the hall. The nurse called me out of the hall and said, "Are you okay?" right before I shipped out. And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, "No, you're not." I said, "No, I am." She's like, "No, you're not. Come with me." And I ended up having to get shipped back to Rome and spending a week in the hospital, and then having to go through waiver after waiver after waiver to get me here. And I ran into my recruiter a couple years later, and he's like, "Oh my God, Stevenson, you gave me the business." Like, you know. But I'm happy to say, Sergeant Rice, I'm still here. So, you know, it wasn't for nothing. And so I want to say thank you for that. Today is my sister's 40th birthday. And Kiana, she's right there, raise your hand. Yes, and it is her milestone birthday. And I want to say thank you for allowing me to share this birthday with you, for flying despite health issues, a lot of stuff going on in my family right now. Everybody had to make some sort of sacrifice, whether it was health, whether it was jobs or whatever, to be here. But to have you guys here, everybody, it's 20 of them here with me, from all over. For the first time in my career, I have all of my siblings here. I have my mom and my dad here. Times I didn't know if they were gonna make it. But to see them here, everybody's so beautiful. I wanna say thank you guys. Man, thank you so much. My family has endured. I cannot tell you guys how much. A lot of times where, you know, people silently suffer. We try to serve when our families are not doing well. We push through. We don't want to show signs of weakness or being, you know, what people will say, you can't handle this, you can't do this. But there has been a lot of loss. There has been a lot of joy. There's been a lot of sickness, a lot of illness. But to have everybody, every single one of them here and doing well, alive, I am so grateful to God for that. Thank you guys for everything. Oh, man, this really is loud when you sniffle, huh? So yes, let me see. Sergeant Parker, Airman Davis, Sergeant Lane, everybody who put this on, all of my escorts, Sergeant Redette I think left, but Rickle and Howard and Buning, and I have Washington over there that sang the national anthem. Thank you, it was beautiful. Danny for that song gets me every time. I just want to say thank you guys for doing this for me, sending me off very well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You are all very, very special to me. And so for those that volunteered to come and help out with this, means so much to me. Thank you. Miss Ford, where's Miss Ford? I saw Miss Ford, oh my gosh. Miss Ford she's our CSS, she's a civilian that works in the CSS, prior military too. Miss Ford has been here the whole time I've been here too. I said I was the last man standing, but really she is. And this woman, you guys, she makes our squadron go round. It's the little things. You don't hear from her often, but she is a workhorse. She makes sure everything is taken care of. She has looked out for me so many times, even on my retirement. Don't answer another email. I'm taking you off of that because you're not going nowhere else. No, Camille, you need to go ahead and get your stuff taken care of. Yes, ma'am. So all I like to say is yes, ma'am. And I just want to say personally, thank you for your mentorship, for your leadership, for your friendship, and everything that you've done to keep us afloat. I so appreciate you, and I am going to miss you. So thank you so much. This is closing on me again. I guess I'm talking too much. All right. Couple more people I just want to say thank you to. My dad, my mom told the story about him signing me in, and my grandmother, she didn't want to, I was like, I got to get it out of here. She didn't want to play fair, so I called my daddy. That's what I used to do all the time. That's all right, I called my daddy. My dad would show up every time, but this time he made a good call. That's 25 years later, following in my footsteps. I have 4 other siblings, and I'm the only one that joined the Air Force. And my whole time, I just wanted to make you proud. And I'm glad that you get to share in this with me. Man, Mom, thank you for always being there. My mother, as my sister has said, there's been a couple times where I had to rely heavily on my family to take care of my kids for me. 2 years in Kadena, 22 months, they took a 17-month-old and a 9, 10-year-old for me so that I can concentrate on the mission. It's really, really hard leaving your kids like that, But I knew that my family was there and that they were going to do the best that they could with my kids and that my kids would be taken care of. I was spending thousands and thousands of dollars every month on daycares. I didn't see them except on the weekends. They went to school daycare, and then they went right into a night daycare. I was a single parent at the time, and it was hard on them. Not just me, but it was hard on them. I have Marcella and Randy here, who were actually there in Kadena when I was pregnant with my daughter. I arrived, and he was the NICU nurse there with my daughter and took care of my little one and used to sneak me stuff that I wasn't supposed to have in the NICU. I mean, in my hospital bed, because I ended up spending a month after, a whole 31 days after I had her in the hospital. And Randy took care of me, and Marcella took care of my daughter. So I want to say thank you guys, too, for being here all these years later and then showing up. So appreciate you guys. So anyway, I just want to say thank you guys to the family for your sacrifices for my career, coming out everywhere it was. My ex-husband is here, call him my baby daddy, But even up to my last deployment, people don't get it. Sometimes divorce ends in friendship. And he has been a father to my children in the absence of theirs. My youngest daughter's whole life, her father passed away, was sick with ALS. And all I had to do was call. He took my daughter for 7 months. He took her to school every day. He was at every program, took her to her sports and everything like that. He did the same for my daughter. My oldest daughter was in college. She was sick. He drive 2 hours. I just got to go make sure she's okay and give her some cough medicine. I'm like, tell her to go to the nurse. He's like, nope, I got to go make sure it's the right stuff. But even now, if I call on him, he's there. And I just want to say thank you, T, for your sacrifice. Even after your military service, he's prior Army, Special Forces, and he has a rough time as well. But thank you for your unending support of my girls, and that's the dad that they know, and that's the dad that they're gonna always have. And so I just appreciate your friendship, I appreciate your fatherhood, I appreciate everything that you've done. There's a couple people I don't want to forget. All of my friends here that couldn't be here. I had a whole thing, but it's just way too long. That's all I'm going to say. Tiffany, my daughter's other mother, we call her other mother. We're also friends. Her father passed away, but during those times in deployments, she would have my daughter as well, raise both of them, take them on time. So I've had a great family support system and an extended family, and that is so, so important in the military. People wonder why every time somebody asked me to do something that I could get up and go, and it was because of all those people that rallied around me for my service. Hey, Sergeant Davis. Hey, man, y'all snuck in. Hey, man. I tell you, people just popping up. And anyway, so all the people that rallied around me to make it possible for me to serve and to do it, be able to concentrate on what I was doing, because I knew my family was taken care of, even when it hurt, even when the times were long. I knew that they were okay, and that gave me a peace of mind to be able to concentrate on certain things. So I just want to say thank you. A couple other important people that are not family: Colonel Goebel, Miss Corey, Colonel Carnes, Miss Stewart, Chief Blunt, Chief Moore, I already said thank you to Colonel Long. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve the 461st Air Control Wing. There were some things that, you know, I was wanting to do in addition to my own duties, and it took the permission or the, you know, you guys to say, okay, you can go and do. And for that, I am extremely grateful. I have a little saying that says, you know, it's something when your career and your passion, you're able to mix the two. And allowing me to do that allowed me to be who I was, who I am, and to feel fulfilled in another way. And I just want to say thank you for that. For all of my girls, Lou's out there, love you. There's some people that have been with me base to base, thick and thin, Chelsea, Noni, Keisha, Jessica, Shanita, Sarah Wright, Kia, all you guys, I just want to say thank you. Diana Dunn and Ashley Beavis, Rachel Merriman, Corey Fouts, I tell you, Ruth Tovar, I just want to say thank you. I could not have done it without you. Tiva Collins, love you guys so much. Tasha Bradley, thank you for your friendship and everything else. A couple of the guys, some of my, like all you guys, everybody in this room, I wanted to be here. And I want to say thank you. There's some other officers, Steve Ordner that's out there. There's Captain Cox, Dan Warner, Lieutenant Canals, Major Moffness, and Hallam, thank you so much for being here. He just retired as well. But so many friends and mentors, Vernon Turnbull, Chief Latham, Chief Bowser, so many people I had to lean on when things were rough. And I just want to tell you guys that it was you that kept me going, your encouragement, your words of support, your holding my tears and my secrets. I just want to say thank you guys. I really, 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 times I felt like I really couldn't make it. They let me know who I was and whose I was, and that there was nothing that I couldn't get through. Just, pray about it, come on back. We'll give you some words, Lisa Hodge and Amos, thank you guys so much. During those hard times that I had. I just want to say thank you for your mentorship and your guidance. Holly Williamson, Brandy Austin, she just left here. This is so loud. As a first sergeant. I had her as an airman. She came back here in PCS, did great things here, and now she's a first sergeant along with Corey Fouts. I'm so proud of you guys, the work you've done, what you've overcome, persevered through, and you guys are the next level of leaders, looking for some good things from you guys, and I just want to say I love you. Patty Williams, Danielle Clay, Shanae, Toya, Nicole, Angel Waymer, Tanya Reynolds, Kenya Jackson, Hercinia, Nilka, all of you guys, Sergeant Ray, Seth Miller, Sam Janor, Joel Ponte, Stephen Joyce, Paris Coleman, Bobby Durning, Keon Hall, Chief Jeff Taylor, Captain Stephen Cox, I said all that. Captain Watts, he called me this morning. Scott Hurstel, Lieutenant Hurstel, I want to say thank you. You all are a hoot. I love you like brothers. We've been through hell and high water together, but we made it. We made it. Some of them know exactly what that means. Thank you for your friendship, your leadership, having my six, picking me up when I was down. You guys are the best, and I just want to say thank you for that. So I think that's it. There's so many people that have crossed my path. I can go on for days and days. Riley holding me down in the prop section when I went over there and didn't know what I was doing. This guy right here had all the answers. He is a machine. I appreciate you, Charles, the same thing. Sharice, the whole IRPO office, you guys are amazing. But I won't take up too much more of your time. I just want to say it has been such a crazy career. Some of the stories I tell, I'm like, you just can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. I've been, in the birthing room for 10 babies in my Air Force career, that people trusted me enough to do that, to trust me with their little babies. I've been auntie and mom and, mentor and trusted agent sometimes for teenagers who were in trouble. And it's just been a crazy whirlwind, and all of those things made me who I am today. So I don't regret any of them. I use all of them as learning lessons what to do, what I can do better, what I need to teach other people, how I can help them through seeing past, the facades on the outside and getting to the heart of people, because I know how I felt. And I know when somebody reached down and helped me, when you try to be tough and, you have on this thing and somebody says, nope, what's going on with you? How are you doing? And then all of that comes crumbling down. And when you do that, people they will move mountains for you because they know that you care. John Maxwell says people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. And I found that to be so true. When you care about people, they will move mountains for you. And that's why I do what I do. So thank you, every single person in this room, every single person on the live stream. Salama International, which is out of Kenya in Africa, do a lot of stuff with them, helping them build businesses and leadership skills and things like that. I see you guys. I'm praying for you, hoping that you continue to prosper. I will see you soon. 2021 is my plan to go and visit. So thank you guys for always reaching back. Thank you guys for always supporting me. They come on my Saturday morning sanity checks from all over Africa, and they let me know that they're there. So I want to say you guys are not gone unnoticed, and thank you so much. To all of my family, I love you guys. If I didn't say it before, didn't show you, I love you guys, and you guys being here with me today means that much more to me. Y'all don't know how full I am right now just to see everybody's face. I'm missing a few, like I said, my nieces and nephews. But to have all 5 of the Stevenson, the original Stevenson Strong, we here in full effect. And I just want to say thank you, and I love you guys for the sacrifices you've made for me over the years and for being here. And to see my brothers and their families, they were babies when I left, 13 or something like that when I left. And now to see them grown men, whole families, is just amazing. Love you guys. So I'm done now, Crystal. That was a mouthful.
That was beautiful, thank you.
But it was under 20 minutes, so.
Before we close, Senior Master Sergeant Thomas wanted to give one more special thanks to Sergeant Parker in the back with the camera. Thank you for putting this together, and the committee. The men and women of the United States Air Force are proud to have served with Senior Master Sergeant Camille Thomas and ensure her that she will always be a valuable member of the Air Force. We wish her and her family every success in the future endeavors. After singing of the Air Force song, we invite everyone to join us in congratulating them in the Fellowship Hall for light refreshments and photographs. This concludes our retirement ceremony. Please stand and join us in singing the Air Force song and departure of the official party.